Bride of Christ Speaks, message number 3. Hello, brothers and sisters. This is Ann, and today is still May 21st, 2023. This will be the third and last video in the group, which is talking about the coming of Christ and the May 22nd, 23 date. I have covered why I believe that Jesus is coming back, and it quite possibly may be on the date specified. I also want to mention that I had a vision of the apostles together last week, and they were all hanging out with Jesus. As I thought about it, this must mean that they have been resurrected, meaning that at least some of the dead in Christ have already been resurrected, right? But I do not believe that this is a time when Jesus is coming back, but with the sound of the archangel, and the dead in Christ will rise first. In fact, I believe that this is the Luke 12 verses 35 and 36 place where we are, where Jesus is actually getting ready to go away for the wedding. And when he returns from the wedding, he will take care of those workers that are in Luke 12, 35, and 36. You see, not many people will actually be at the actual wedding, but there will be a lot of them at the wedding supper of the Lamb. So that may be the difference that I have with Mandy. I'm believing that we're talking about the wedding that Christ is picking me up for. And it appears that they are talking about a rapture, like the one that a lot of the pre-tribulation rapture people are talking about. I definitely don't believe in that. But in this video, I want to share with you information on 2 additional dreams that I had. Now, I had these dreams when Jesus first told me that I was his bride, his wife, and he started giving me these dreams. So actually, these are among the first 2 dreams that he gave me. One of the dreams is about him coming back to get me. That was the first dream that he gave me, where he showed me that he was going to come back and get me. And then another dream that he gave me, it was a wedding and a funeral procession. That's what I'm trying to pronounce. Now, we all know that there are going to be great upheavals, disasters, flood, darkness. These things are coming, and I think these 2 dreams may have something to do with that. In fact, the first dream, I've always wondered if that dream was during the 3 days of darkness or the darkness time. But anyway, I'll just go ahead and read those, and those 2 dreams, and include those here. So, as I said, I got these dreams around April 2013. The first one, I call it Christ Comes for Me at Midnight. This dream again was April 2013. I had this dream, and during that time, it was complete darkness. I was standing in a forest, or what seemed to be a wooded area. I was all alone, and the only light that was around me was a campfire burning right next to me. It was burning very brightly. I was dressed in the most beautiful cream-colored satin dress. It was long and full, and my head was covered in a beautiful head covering with embroidered jewels all around the top of it. It fitted somewhat like a skull cap. There seemed to be something flowing on the back side of the cap. It was that flowing piece was also light and cream color, but not white. I was standing there all alone with this large campfire illuminating and their surroundings. And now in the distance, I could see Jesus coming around the bend, and he was actually walking. He was coming around the bend in the road, and he was headed to where I was. I was yet, let me see, headed to where I was. Yet in the dream, I was still quite a distance from him. Jesus was holding a lighted lamp, and he was headed toward me. I do not remember anyone else being with him. So he was basically coming along. I knew he was coming for me, and I knew that I was waiting for him. Then I woke up from the dream. Okay, then that dream was actually confirmed a few nights later. So several days later, this is the confirming dream. Several days later, I had the same dream in the same setting, and this time Christ had made it closer to me. In fact, in this confirming dream, Christ had made it to me. I looked into his face, and he gave me a big smile, and our eyes met. I knew that I felt like I had known him all my life. In both dreams, I was observing myself as Christ got closer and closer to me. I smiled at him, he smiled at me, and he had made it to me. And then I woke up. And as I said, it was very dark during this time, but that was the first dream that he gave me after he had told me that I am to be his queen and his bride. Okay, now the next dream, I want to quickly go over this. And as I said, this was sort of a disturbing dream, but I also want to just kind of mention it. Oh, yeah, let me just also say this. Also, after I had that dream with Christ coming to me, when I woke up the next day, I saw all of this writing because he had started writing on my walls and everything. He said, I love you, and a lot of other very lovable things. And then he said, say goodbye. I love you and say goodbye. I remember because I wrote that down. Say goodbye. What does that mean? You know. But anyway, that was during that time. Now, also in 2013, I had this dream, and I called it the May 2013 Spring Wedding and Funeral Dream. Okay, spring wedding and funeral. So let me just go ahead and read this. In this brief vision or dream, I saw two wedding processions. One had only one car. In that procession, it was the bride and the groom. The other line, there was a long procession with many cars in it and many people, and they were all dressed in wedding attire, all white wedding attire. As I watched the procession of people, the procession then turned into a funeral procession. In my spirit, I know that all of these people were headed to their death. The dream was very disturbing to me, and I wrote down in my journal, I said, one group is going to the wedding, the bride and the groom, and the other group is going to their death. And that was that dream. I remember, as I said, it was very disturbing, but I had that dream again. I had that dream twice, so I had a confirmation of that dream. So I just wanted to bring that up. So, brothers and sisters, I'm going to leave it at that. That is all that I have for today. So I'm going to say shalom until the next time.